stop. And then often with Wyatt, it can be a little unpredictable. So that was just not feasible for me anymore. So I just kind of had to like lay out what my day looked like. And I think Lisa, I don't know if she's on here or not, but she did a really cool call with like a pie chart. And she kind of took her day and like figured out where that free time was, or like where that time is that you are like scrolling or watching a 30-minute Netflix show or whatever that might be, and figure out how you can do business activities in that time. Because we all like to say that we're so busy, but the truth is, I mean, you make time for what's important to you. And I knew that this was important to me. So that's how I developed these little power pockets. So I'm just going to kind of walk through what each one is and like what I do during that time, just to really make sure that I am being intentional with my time, because it is so short right now. So the very first thing is I work off of that Success Club tracker. So it's in your coach office, and I just printed a bunch of these off again. At the beginning of the year, I print off like 52 of them. That way I don't ever have to go back in and do it. So it's just like they're binder clipped right here. And when I'm using one, it goes into a binder, but I just go through it, and that's like my to-do list for the day. So looking at like the tasks on the business activity tracker, that's how I figured out like what needed to go into the power pockets that I work through my day. So the very first one that I do is the one that's all about you. So being proof of the product, which is also like just the taking care of you part. So I get up at the insane hour of 3:45 a.m. because that's just how my schedule has to work right now. So I get up, I get my workout in. Well, I obviously drink my Energize first. I get my workout in, and then as soon as I'm done with my workout, I'll post it on my stories. And I also kind of like talk a little bit, either about the workout or something I have coming up during the day, or something that was the struggle, just anything. I just kind of talk about it on my stories, because I try to go live on my stories once a day also. If I get it done after my workout, then I don't have to worry about the day getting away from me. So that's really the first one, is just Energize, workout, post on my stories, talk on my stories real quick. And then I kind of go get ready for work and all of that. And then the second power pocket I do is when I am feeding my son. So he wakes up around 5:30ish to eat. And during that, like, it's probably like 20 to 30 minute, we're still breastfeeding, so nursing session, like that's my second power pocket. I would just be sitting there scrolling my phone or watching something on TV. So I just sit there, I feed him, and that is when I do all of the connections. So I go to, people in my niche, and I'm just like 5'3", wanting the people that I feel like I would have something in common with, and just making those connections during that time. It's probably about, like I said, 20 to 30 minutes. And then I also make my post for the day during that little chunk as well. So that's the second power pocket, is really focusing on mainly connections and just growing growing your market on Instagram and your following. And then my third one is my commute to work. I listen to PD. So I've got like a 45-ish minute commute to work with daycare drop off. So I have those 45 minutes. So I just do PD the whole way. And then I drink my shake during that car ride also. So I really love being able to start off my day with PD, because really kind of just gets you pumped up about life and about your goals, and just gives you a good kick in the pants, especially when it's not even like light out yet. So I just really, really love having that at the beginning of my day also. So then I'm at school, and my, heart goes into my kids. So while I'm teaching them, my phone's away. I'm not on my phone during the day while I'm teaching, but I do have pumping breaks right now. So I have to pump in this like teeny tiny little closet where we store all the paint at school, which is probably not healthy, but that's where they give me. So I get like one little bar of service in there. And that is where that's where my fourth power pocket happens. And that is where I go through and I am like answering any comments on posts, or just checking my inbox, kind of cleaning that out. And then if I have extra time, it's about a 20-ish minute window. If I have extra time in there, I will continue to connect. I've really been trying to focus more on connections and just like building genuine connections before the invite lately. So I've kind of given that a little bit of extra time. So yeah, if I have extra time during that fourth one, I'll continue to do the connecting. And then we go to the fifth one. The fifth Power Pocket is my lunch. Due to COVID, we can't interact with anybody in school anyways. That's a grown up. So I also have to pump too. So I go back to my little closet and shut the door for another 30 minutes. And this is all inviting. So I just go to town with invites and go through Facebook, go through Instagram, and I'm just inviting people. I have a number that I try to get to every day, but like I said, I'm trying to really focus on that connection piece more. So if I don't hit that number and I'm still have time, then I'll continue doing the connecting part also. So that's the day, pretty much 5 different windows during that day of craziness. But I really have found that that works for me. So then after school, as soon as I get home from work, like that's family time. I'll post on my stories kind of like little clips of Wyatt or making dinner, whatever that is. But I really just try to give that time for me and Tyler and him, because it is, I mean, we get like an hour and a half in the evening and that's it. So that time is all about family. After Wyatt goes to bed, if that ever happens, and Tyler goes to work, then that last like little bit, so usually around now, like 7:30, 8 is when I do my final Power Pocket, which is just about getting my Challengers results. So I go into my bod group because at this point, most of my girls have worked out during the day. So I'll just go through it, interact with them, comment on any sort of, win that they had or struggle, or just really interact with them and show them that, I'm there for them. All of that happens right before I go to bed. And then that's it. Like that's my day. So as soon as I'm done with that, then I probably watch a Netflix show and fall asleep, because that's kind of the last little bit of sanity I have left. But yeah, like I said, throughout the day, I'm posting on my stories. I don't get super fancy with like stories and graphics really, because honestly, I just don't have a lot of time for it. But I just try to keep my followers just engaged with what's going on in my life and ask their opinion on things like that. So I try to post those in my stories throughout the day. But I just literally get my vitals in by being really intentional with my time, in those little windows throughout the day. So I think I hit them all.
Oh my gosh. So I'm pretty sure everybody's like, whoa. And we all need to take this like step back and be like, well, if Katie can do this, I have no excuse. Like you just went through your entire day and I can't even like, there's so, like between like baby kindergartners, husband that, has crazy work hours, all of those things. So my first question that I have to know, because I know a lot of people are probably listening to this and thinking like, why? Like, why does she do that? Like, why is she like waking up at crazy hours, like basically having no downtime until the very end of the night? Like, why are you even doing that? Like, I guess is a question I want you to answer for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I get a lot of joy out of coaching, out of just connecting with other people. But I mean, really the main why is my family. With like the job that Tyler has, his schedule is just crazy and it's unpredictable, and it would honestly be like the best thing ever if I could just be home and be able to just live that, work from home mom life, so that I could actually see my husband and my son could see his dad, and just to really have that more, I don't know, more meaningful family time, just to really have that family life that I want to be able to provide for him, and just that marriage and all of those things. And Tyler has seen so much growth in me through coaching. So it's something that he fully supports as well. So having that keeps me going and just like pushing towards like just really having this awesome family life. That's my biggest motivator. Obviously, like the financial stuff is a huge part of that. So learning like how to make your business grow and learning that that's the vitals and how to get those in is really just, yeah, why I keep getting up at so early.
I love it. Oh my gosh, I just got kicked out. But okay, so while other people are asking questions, because I know there was a question, so hopefully you still see that. Um,
Um,
I I
yeah,
rem- I remember it if you don't remember it, but uh, how did you? Because a lot of people are talking about like, oh, I need a routine like that. Like, how did you create that routine? Um, like, how did you figure out when to do what? That type of thing.
yeah, so I just kind of had to figure out when could I be the most productive. I'm not somebody like just my day. I don't know if you guys have been around 25-year-olds, but it's like by the end of the day you're just drowning a little bit. So I knew that the end of the day is not when my brain was going to be at my best. So I've never been a morning person by any means, but I just really had to figure out like when am I my best self, and just put like all of the effort in during that time. That way, once I knew like, okay, I've got all of those big things done, by the time I come home, like I don't want to come home to Wyatt and know that I still have a million things on my to-do list. So if that means that I have to get up super early, then I mean it stinks and it's hard. Today was like the Mondayest Monday ever, but by when I got home at 4:30, I could have that time with him. So I just really had to figure out when I could be the most productive, and then like how much time I was going to need to do that, and just make it work, honestly. I think you're muted. I think, are you muted?
Okay, sorry. I tried the space bar thing. That didn't work. Okay, so the question was about connections. Like, where do you make your connections? People were talking about hashtags not working, things like that. Where do you go to make your connections?
Connections, right? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. So I just do the whole like finding people that have like a big following on Instagram that are in your niche. So right now, I think he finally stopped crying, but right now we're really working on sleep. And so the taking care of babies is like the go-to for sleep. So it's a huge Instagram. So I go to that Instagram. There's another one. It's Caitlin Bristow. She's like a former bachelorette. Those people on there are just really funny, so I'll go to that one. But just people like that have bigger platforms, then I go to their like most recent post, and then I'll go to the people that liked or commented on it. And then I really have been trying to just actually look at those people's profiles. So normally they're people that are not private, and I try to make sure I could have something in common with them. And then I do the 531 where you like 5 of their pictures, comment, and follow on there also.
I love it. Okay, so the questions popping up now are about your sleep. How many hours of
What
sleep
time
do
do you
you
go to
get?
bed?
And what time do you go to bed?
Okay, so let's see. I usually like right now I would be I'd be in bed. So I usually probably go lay down around 8 o'clock and then like kind of watch Netflix, just to unwind with like some friends or something mindless. I'm usually asleep, honestly, guys, by 8:30. So we're pushing it here. And then Wyatt gets up a little bit at night. So I probably get about six and a half hours. I honestly try not to think about it too much. But he's a good baby and he'll sleep in a little bit on the weekend. So I just count down till Friday.
I love it. And you just have to have this mindset. Like, you have to have this mindset that like this is not forever. Like,
Yeah.
there's an end to this crazy lifestyle that you're living right now, and that end is worth it. Like, or it is to you. Maybe it's not worth it to someone else on this call, but to you, what you're working for or working towards is so worth it. So it's fine. Okay, and then do you work weekends?
Okay. Kind of. I really try to kind of take like Fridays, I still do like the connections and all of that, but I don't really invite on Fridays just because I feel like I haven't really gotten good responses. People kind of check out for the weekend. That's just been my experience with it. So Friday evening and Saturday, it's really all about family time. Sundays, I do like kind of try to do some sort of like power hour if I can get my kid to take a nap. But I don't stress about it, to be completely honest. I really don't stress about it just because I know how dedicated I am during my week, and I do have like a pretty solid routine. Life sometimes happens, and if something happens during the week, I'll kind of try to make up for that on the weekend. But I just don't put a lot of pressure into the weekends. I still show up on social media and do my workouts and all of that, but as far as actually working, not so much.
I love that. You're like, I'm so dedicated throughout the week that it's like, if there's time and if it happens, like I'll do it. But if not, I know I'm going to show up on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and do a good portion of it on Friday. Like, that's so great. Like that you have that mindset too. Okay. I think this is probably our last one. Ashley asked, can you explain 531? And you were talking about that with connections. You got in the like 5 photos, but I think they're wanting some more details on it.
Oh, I skipped the 3. Okay, so yeah, so like 5 photos. I try not to do them like right in a row. I don't know, I feel like that seems like kind of mindless. So I'll try to go and like pick ones I actually like. And then the 3 is leave 3 comments. And so this can sound a little overwhelming, but if they have a story up, it's not. So like you click on their stories, if they made something that tastes good, they have on a cute outfit, their kids are really cute, whatever, I try to, comment 3 times. But that's not like going to their picture going like, I like your shirt, I like your pants, I like making them more genuine. So sometimes if I don't get 3 because there's just not 3 that feel right, maybe it's 2 comments. But that's where the 3 comes in, is the commenting part. And then the 1 is just that you're following them. So it's one person that you're following.
I love it. Okay. Any other questions? Or are we going to let this poor girl go to sleep for the night?
You're pushing it. You said 8 o'clock, and I was like, oh.
Trust me, 8 o'clock's late for me too. So I'm like, we can make it happen though.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh, Katie, thank you so much for just laying out your day. Like you did such a good job of you guys, like she obviously like has this like in the back of her head. So maybe the first couple of days she did it, it seemed a little awkward and she was just figuring it out. But you can tell she's done this over and over and over and over and over again. And it's just become routine and a part of her day. And like she said, there's joy in it. She finds joy in the process. And so it's like you have to find that routine that works for you. Like Katie said, it's whenever you are most productive. And for her, that's the mornings. Maybe you're a night owl and nighttime is your most productive time. But I like wrote down all of your power packets. I was like, this is awesome and gold and so good. So hopefully you guys took some notes. If you have questions, you're welcome to shoot them to me or to Katie or to post them in Spirit and Spunk Tribe, and we will get those questions answered. So have a good rest of your guys' evening. Thank you so much for being on, and I'll talk to you guys later. So see ya.